Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to the Smackdown review. Smackdown was from the Jeddah Superdome in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Tonight's Smackdown was taped, and they aired it overseas in Saudi Arabia. And of course, did not get spoiled. I avoided all the spoilers. But this was the go-home show for the King and Queen of the Ring, which is tomorrow. It's happening, of course, in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. And it's going to start here on the East Coast at 1 o'clock, which I am not going to review King and Queen of the Ring. I'll be at work. So I won't be doing a review of King and Queen of the Ring. And also for AEW, I won't be reviewing Double or Nothing on Sunday. I'll give my thoughts, as always, when I do my Dynamite review on Wednesday. I know I didn't do a Dynamite review this past Wednesday because, I was at work, so I didn't have time to watch Dynamite. But I'll give my thoughts on Double or Nothing in my Dynamite review on Wednesday. But as for SmackDown tonight, I thought it was a decent show, in my opinion. We had the two semifinal matches in the Queen and King of the Ring. For the Queen of the Ring semifinals match, it was Nia Jax versus Bianca Belair. We had a six-man tag with the Street Profits and LA Knight. They ended up taking on Grayson Waller, Austin Theory, and Carmelo Hayes. We also had Bayley versus Chelsea Green. And the main event was the semifinal match in the King of the Ring, Randy Orton versus Tama Tonga. So, SmackDown tonight was a decent show. And I don't know if you can hear it. These people outside are shooting fireworks. I don't know why. It's not even July yet. We're still in May. What the fuck? But, anyways, let's jump right into the review. SmackDown opened up tonight with the first match, which was the semifinal match in the Queen of the Ring tournament. Bianca Belair versus Nia Jax. And Triple H ended up announcing that the winners of both the King and Queen of the Ring will get title shots at SummerSlam. And I like that. I like that the winners are being, rewarded title shots. That's the way to go. But this was a decent match between Bianca Belair and Nia Jax here. Bianca Belair ended up coming out first. And we saw Lyra Valkyria, who was sitting in the front row. She is in the final match of the Queen of the Ring. So the match ended up getting on the way. Nia Jax also came out. Match ended up getting on the way. Nia Jax ended up slamming Bianca face first onto the canvas. Bianca ended up getting to her feet in the corner. Nia Jax ended up going for a splash, but Bianca ended up delivering an elbow to Nia's face. Bianca then followed up that elbow with a kick to Nia. Bianca went to the ropes. She ended up landing a shoulder tackle to take down Nia in the corner. Bianca ended up climbing the second rope. She ended up hitting Nia with some right hands, but Nia ended up throwing Bianca onto the ring apron. Bianca ended up grabbing Nia and slammed her face first onto the top turnbuckle. Bianca then got onto the second rope, but Nia ended up grabbing Bianca by her hair, and she ended up slamming her into the ring. Nia ended up going for a shoulder tackle, but Bianca ended up moving out of the way, and that led to Nia ended up hitting the ring post, and she ended up falling to the outside. Bianca then delivered a splash over the top rope onto Nia on the outside, and then SmackDown with the commercial. And since this show was taped, the crowd there in Jeddah, you could tell that it was, mixed reactions. Like WWE, how, it's a tape show, they edit stuff. You could tell that they edited in, piped in crowd noises, and at points, you just heard, the crowd there in Jeddah start cheering. So it was a mix between both. Real cheers from the crowd there in Jeddah and piped in crowd noises. That's how the way I saw it. So then as SmackDown came back from the commercial, Nia delivered a Samoan drop onto Bianca. She ended up going for the cover, and Bianca kicked out, and she rolled onto the ring apron. Bianca then hung Nia up on the top rope. Bianca climbed to the top rope, and she landed a crossbody onto Nia. But, when she delivered that crossbody onto Nia, Bianca then ended up hurting her knee. She was in pain, and she couldn't go for the pin at that point. So Bianca then ended up going for the cover, and Nia kicked out. So both Nia and Bianca slowly got up to their feet. Nia delivered a right hand to Bianca. She slammed Bianca down onto the canvas. Nia then climbed the second rope. Bianca then ended up lifting Nia up, and she ended up hitting Nia with a powerbomb. Nice, powerbomb there. Bianca then went for the cover, and Nia kicked out. So Bianca ended up going for the KOD, but Nia ended up delivering a right hand to Bianca. She ended up attacking Bianca's injured knee. Nia then ended up slamming Bianca's left knee onto the canvas, just working on that injured knee of Bianca. Nia then dragged Bianca to the corner. She climbed the second rope, but Bianca delivered a right hand. So Bianca ended up going for the KOD, but her leg ended up buckling her injured knee, and Nia ended up falling. Nia then ended up running to the ropes, and she landed a senton on Bianca. Nia then dragged Bianca into the corner. She ended up going up to the top, and she ended up hitting the Annihilator on Bianca. Nia ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Nia Jax ended up winning the match. Post-match, Kayla Braxton got into the ring, and she interviewed Nia Jax, to which Nia ended up cutting Kayla Braxton off. Nia ended up telling Lyra that she just buzzed through Bianca Belair the same way she buzzed through Becky Lynch. And she also buzzed through Rhea Ripley. And the same way that she will buzz through her to be Queen of the Ring. She ended up saying, thanks to Triple H's announcement at SummerSlam, she will be Queen and also Champion. Nia ended up saying that it all starts tomorrow when she buzzes through Lyra Valkyria. So basically that's what Nia had to say. But overall, this was a decent match between Nia Jax and Bianca Belair here. So it's going to be Nia Jax and Lyra Valkyria tomorrow. And I know for a fact, which I know in the back of my mind, I don't want this to happen, but I know that they're going to give the Queen of the Ring to Nia Jax. No way I see Lyra Valkyria winning this. I think Nia Jax is going to be your Queen of the Ring. And that's terrible for me to say. I'm not a Nia Jax fan. But overall, this was a decent match with Nia and Bianca Belair. And then, as SmackDown came back from the commercial, we saw Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair, she was icing her injured knee. Tiffany Stratton ended up coming up to Bianca, and Stratton ended up telling Bianca, better luck next time. And then she walked off. So in came Byron Saxton. Byron Saxton ended up interviewing Bianca Belair, and Bianca ended up telling Byron that she wanted that crown, but she took her knee to her. So in came Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. Both Candice and Indy were mocking Bianca's knee, and so Jade Cargill then walked in. She ended up telling Indy and Candice that they aren't doing that tonight. So Candice and Indy end up walking off, and Cargill ended up telling Bianca to let her go speak with Nick Aldis. And she walked off. So pretty much that was that. But it looks like possibly next week on SmackDown, we're going to be seeing Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair versus Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. Yeah, so exciting. And then we have the Grayson Waller effect. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory were in the ring. Waller ended up welcoming everyone to a very special championship edition of the Grayson Waller effect. Theory ended up telling the crowd that some might call their guest a megastar. And out came Carmelo Hayes. So Carmelo Hayes came out. He ended up thanking Theory and Waller for the introduction. And he had to stop them because it sounded like they were describing him. But they missed a few things. He ended up saying that he was SmackDown's first round draft pick and the hottest new star on SmackDown. And him. Carmelo Hayes ended up telling Theory that guys like them have to stick together. And that Waller ended up saying that he is right. And that Hayes should be the guest over LA Knight. So Carmelo Hayes ended up saying that he gets the run, and they get the ratings. They all win. He ended up telling them that the veterans try and take them out. They ended up saying that, look at guys like Bobby Lashley. Where's the good advice from him? He ended up saying the only advice he gave the Street Profits was how to lose to them. So Carmelo Hayes ended up saying that guys like Lashley and Baron Corbin are jealous and egomaniacs. He ended up saying, speaking of egomaniacs, LA Knight. He ended up saying that there is nothing worse than a veteran who has accomplished nothing and wants to talk all this talk. So the fans started chanting for Knight. Waller ended up saying that the guy who can't win the big one. And LA Knight then ended up coming out. Of course, fans popped there in Jeddah and they started chanting his name. LA Knight got into the ring. He ended up telling the crowd, "Let me talk to you." Knight ended up saying that he's going to keep it short and sweet. Knight ended up telling Carmelo Hayes that he is poking a mean dog with a sharp stick. He ended up saying that if you keep knocking on his door, this mean dog will take a bite out of you. And it won't take him long for him to realize whose game this is, with everybody saying, L.A. Knight, yeah! So, LA Knight was about to step out of the ring. Carmelo Hayes, from behind, ended up hitting Knight. But Knight delivered some right hands to Carmelo Hayes. Grayson Waller and Carmelo Hayes end up attacking Knight from behind. And then out came the Street Profits. The Street Profits end up running down. They end up throwing both Grayson Waller and Austin Theory out of the ring. And they also threw Carmelo Hayes to the outside. And pretty much that was basically that. What was funny was when LA Knight came into the ring, he ended up throwing out the chairs, for the Grayson Waller effect. And Grayson Waller was like, "Oh, you know how much money, spent on these?" But overall, this was just forced, in my opinion. This whole segment. And this all led into a 6-man tag as SmackDown came back from the commercial. So it was LA Knight and the Street Profits versus Carmelo Hayes, Grayson Waller, and Austin Theory. And this was a decent match here. So the match ended up getting underway. Montez Ford and Carmelo Hayes started off the match. Montez Ford delivered an arm drag, and then he followed up with a drop kick to Carmelo Hayes. So Dawkins was then tagged in, and the Street Profits ended up double teaming up on Carmelo Hayes. Dawkins ended up throwing Hayes to the ropes, and then he delivered a face buster to Carmelo Hayes. Dawkins then locked in the arm bar on Carmelo Hayes, and LA Knight ended up tagging in. So Carmelo Hayes then tagged in Austin Theory. So LA Knight ended up getting Theory into an arm bar. Theory went to the ropes, and Waller ended up taking himself in, and both Theory and Waller ended up double teaming on LA Knight. Waller delivered a uppercut to LA Knight, but LA Knight delivered a clothesline to Waller. Dawkins was then tagged in, and we had Dawkins end up delivering a corkscrew elbow onto Grayson Waller. So Dawkins delivered a splash in the corner to Waller. So Dawkins ended up going for a splash, but Theory ended up moving Waller out of the way. Theory was then tagged in and ended up landing a drop kick onto Dawkins, to which Dawkins then fell to the outside. So then SmackDown went to commercial. Then as SmackDown came back from the commercial, Dawkins delivered a right hand onto Waller, and Knight ended up knocking Theory on the outside of the ring. Dawkins then tagged Knight into the ring. We had Knight deliver some right hands and some kicks to Waller in the corner. So Knight ended up slamming Waller onto the canvas. We had Knight end up delivering a jumping elbow to Waller. So Knight ended up going for the cover. Carmelo Hayes broke up the pin. Carmelo Hayes delivered the first 48 onto Knight. Montez Ford ended up coming into the ring and he ended up knocking Hayes to the outside. So we had all 6 men end up fighting. Knight and Waller were in the ring. Knight delivered the BFT on Waller. Carmelo Hayes ended up coming in, and Knight ended up throwing Hayes to the outside. Montez Ford ended up taking into the ring, and Knight ended up tackling Carmelo Hayes over the commentary table. Montez Ford went to the top, and he delivered a frog splash onto Waller. We have Ford end up going for the cover, and there you go. The Street Profits and LA Knight ended up winning the match. Overall, this was a decent 6-man tag team match here. Of course, we had B-Fab at ringside accompanying the Street Profits. And then, as SmackDown came back from the commercial, we had Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes ended up coming out. Of course, the crowd popped for Cody. They all went, whoa, as always. So Cody Rhodes got into the ring. He had a mic in hand. And he was going to get a word in, but he was then interrupted by Logan Paul. Logan Paul, the United States champion, ended up coming out. So Logan Paul got on the mic. He ended up telling Cody that he got played. He ended up saying for the 3rd time, he walks down the ramp in Saudi Arabia with a title in sight. Logan Paul ended up saying that tomorrow he is walking out with the undisputed WWE Championship on his shoulder, as well as the United States Championship. He ended up telling Cody he has facts for him. He ended up saying while Cody may have the edge and experience, he is smarter than him. He ended up saying that he is a better athlete, entertainer, and performer than Cody. He ended up saying that he won't use cheap tactics to win. So Logan Paul ended up saying that he gave Michael Cole his brass knucks. He ended up telling Cody that he has his word and that he won't use the brass knucks in their match tomorrow. I find that bullshit. So Cody ended up saying that he is not an idiot, and his experience will lead him to believe that Logan Paul is just a scared kid. Cody then ended up telling Logan Paul that he is afraid that someone will see him as a fraud. He ended up saying a YouTuber pretended to be a WWE superstar. Cody ended up telling Logan Paul that he doesn't believe that, and that he has seen how good he is, but he has also seen that he has a case of imposter syndrome. He ended up saying in his gut and experience will lead him to believe that Logan Paul has another set of brass knucks on him right now. So Logan Paul then ended up laughing. He ended up saying that Cody is stupid and that he doesn't have brass knucks on him. Fans started chanting liar to Logan Paul. Cody ended up saying that Logan Paul is a man of his word. He ended up saying that he asked a official, Ryan, who was the referee, to check Logan Paul out. So, the official Ryan got into the ring. Logan Paul ended up asking him if this is airport security and if he will do that to check Cody first. So Ryan then checked Cody out. Cody was clean, did not have anything on him. So Ryan then ended up beginning to check Logan Paul. So he was checking him, and he opened Logan Paul's pockets, and he found brass knucks in Logan Paul's pockets. So Logan ended up saying those are his brother's pants. So he ended up throwing his brother under the bus. Jake Paul. He ended up saying that he doesn't even wear Prada and that he is from Ohio. So Logan Paul ended up telling Cody to take the brass knucks and that he wasn't honest. Logan Paul ended up telling Cody that he has them for his security, and Cody has them now. Logan Paul ended up saying that nothing changes, and that he does not need brass knucks to beat Cody. Yeah, watch. The brass knucks will be used in the match tomorrow. Mark my words. So Logan Paul ended up telling Cody to keep them, because tomorrow he will beat him fair and square. Cody then ended up saying that the brass knucks are a difference between them. So Cody ended up giving the brass knucks to WWE official Ryan. So Cody ended up saying that it's a way for Logan Paul to check a box, but his title is all he has ever wanted. He ended up saying that the roads are as real gets. So Cody ended up telling Logan Paul that he does not think of him as a YouTuber. He believes he is a pro wrestler. He believes he is a WWE superstar. But until he does this full time and respects the ring they are in, Logan will never be on his level. And that Logan will never be WWE Undisputed Champion. Cody then ended up calling Logan Paul a kid. He ended up telling him that he will beat him and regret he ever stepped foot in the ring with him. Cody raised the championship in the air, and pretty much that was basically that. So, should be a good match between Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul tomorrow. The Undisputed WWE Championship is on the line, not the United States Championship, as what we seen last Friday on SmackDown, which that was, a good call. It would be pretty stupid to have the United States Championship and the Undisputed WWE Championship on the line. But I'm glad that the United States Championship isn't going to be on the line, because that would be stupid, if it was, just having two titles on the line. Then we saw Byron Saxton. Byron Saxton was backstage with Randy Orton. Randy Orton telling Byron that ever since Tama Tonga stepped foot in the WWE ring, he has proved he is vicious. Orton ended up saying, unfortunately for Tonga, he is Randy Orton, and he has made a name for himself by being vicious. He ended up saying through the course of his career, he has overcome the odds, and tonight will not be any different when Tama Tonga gets hit with the three most dangerous letters in sports entertainment. RKO. So that was what Randy Orton had to say ahead of his match with Tama Tonga, semifinals match in the King of the Ring. And then we saw Bayley. Bayley ended up walking backstage, and she saw Nia Jax. Nia Jax ended up telling Bayley to keep her belt clean until SummerSlam. So Bayley then looked at Nia, walked away. Bayley ended up walking down to the ring, and then SmackDown went to commercial. Then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, Kayla Braxton was backstage with the Street Profits. Montez Ford ended up telling Kayla Braxton that they feel fantastic and don't like losing. So in came DIY, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa. They ended up telling the Street Profits that the agenda is them becoming tag team champions. Tommaso Ciampa grabbed a cup from Montez Ford's hand, and he ended up saying that they are always optimistic, and their cup is always full. And he ended up saying if it means they have to go through them to become tag team champions, so be it. Tommaso Ciampa ended up pouring the water out from the cup. He ended up saying that the cup is empty now. So pretty much that was basically that. DIY coming off as sort of heels here. They want a shot at the titles. And then we had Bayley versus Chelsea Green. This was just a meh matchup here. Chelsea Green was, of course, accompanied by Piper Niven. So the match got underway. Chelsea Green delivered a kick to Bayley. She ended up getting to the ring apron, ended up slapping Bayley in the face. Chelsea Green ended up delivering a drop kick off the top rope to Bayley. She ended up going for the cover, and Bayley ended up kicking out. Chelsea Green then placed Bayley on the ring apron and kicked Bayley in the face. So then as SmackDown came back from the commercial, Chelsea Green was still in control of the match. She ended up slamming Bayley down onto the canvas. We had Chelsea end up delivering a Rough Rider onto Bayley. She went for the cover. Bayley ended up kicking out. Chelsea ended up running towards Bayley, but Bayley ended up slamming Chelsea onto the canvas. Bayley then ended up going for the Rose Plant on Chelsea Green. She ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Bayley ended up winning the match. Post-match, Piper Niven came into the ring, and she delivered a splash onto Bayley. Piper Niven ended up running towards Bayley, but Bayley started kicking Piper Niven away. Bayley went to the ropes, but Piper Niven ended up catching Bayley, ended up slamming her onto the canvas. Piper Niven then ended up hitting Bayley with 2 sentons. Piper Niven was about to leave the ring, and she ended up turning back. And she ended up going for another senton onto Bayley. And pretty much that was basically that. Overall, just a very meh match it was between Bayley and Chelsea Green here. Wasn't exciting. So we saw Nick Aldis backstage. In came AJ Styles. Styles ended up telling Aldis that he saw what happened in France and that they tore the house down. He ended up saying that he was 1 second away from beating Cody Rhodes and 1 second away from beating Orton in a King of the Ring quarterfinal match. So Styles ended up asking Aldis for one more chance for the undisputed WWE Championship. Styles ended up telling Aldis that he needs this. To which Aldis ended up telling Styles that he knows he wants to be WWE Undisputed Champion, and he knows how much respect he has for him. He ended up saying that if he was asking for him personally, 100% yes, every day of the week. But professionally, he can't give him what he wants. So Aldis ended up saying to Styles that chance has to be earned, and that takes time. So then Styles ended up telling Aldis that he knows he doesn't have time. To which Aldis then ended up telling Styles that is not something he can help him with. Pretty much that was basically that. So Styles has to earn his chance to eventually get one more chance for the undisputed WWE Championship. And as SmackDown came back from the commercial, we saw the Bloodline backstage. Paul Heyman ended up telling Solo Sikoa that he knows Tonga Lioa is not here tonight. He ended up saying that he knows Tonga Lioa is not here tonight because they could not get him across the border, and that they do a background check on Tonga Lioa, and he won't pass. So Paul Heyman ended up telling Sikoa, these are very dangerous people he is recruiting to the Bloodline, and there is a reason they did not bring them to the Bloodline earlier. So Sikoa ended up telling Paul Heyman that until Roman comes back, he is in charge. So Paul Heyman ended up telling Sikoa that the problem with Tama Tonga is that, and then Tama Tonga shows up there with Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman's like, oh my god, which was funny. So Solo Sikoa ended up telling Paul Heyman the reason why Tama Tonga has been recruited is because he is that dangerous. And tomorrow, the king comes back to the Bloodline by orders of the tribal chief. So Solo Sikoa then laughed, and he walked off. So that was that. Main event, Randy Orton versus Tama Tonga. Of course, Tama Tonga was accompanied by Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman. Of course, this was the semifinals match in the King of the Ring tournament. Gunther was, of course, shown sitting, front row, just watching the match. And this was a good main event here. So the match got underway. Tama Tonga delivered some right hands to Orton. He then headbutted Orton Orton ended up coming back with a right hand, and he delivered a fallaway slam to Tama Tonga. Orton threw Tonga shoulder first into the ring post. Orton then ended up getting Tonga in the corner. He climbed to the second rope, and Orton delivered some right hands to Tonga. Orton threw Tonga to the outside of the ring, and he slammed Tonga onto the commentary table. Orton ended up going for a backdrop, but Tonga ended up landing on his feet, and Tonga clipped Orton's leg from behind, and he ended up pushing Orton into the ring post. And that was when SmackDown went to commercial. Then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, Tama Tonga was in control of the match. Tama Tonga ended up going for a frog splash off the second rope onto Orton's knee, but Orton moved out of the way. Tonga was on the ring apron. Orton ended up dragging Tonga. He ended up going for the DDT, but Tonga landed on his feet, and he ended up snapping Orton's leg. Tonga then delivered some right hands to Orton, and then Tonga ended up locking a sleeper hold on Orton. Orton ended up getting to his feet. Tonga was on Orton's back. Orton ended up slamming Tonga into the turnbuckle. Orton was on his feet, and Tonga delivered a chop onto Orton's leg. Once again, Tonga ended up blocking a sleeper hold on Orton, but Orton delivered a backdrop to Tonga. Orton ended up going for a clothesline to Tonga, which was followed up by a snap power slam. Orton ended up placing Tonga on the ring apron, and he went for a DDT, but Tonga ended up getting back in the ring, and he threw Orton to the outside. So Orton ended up raking Tonga's eyes. He slammed Tonga onto the commentary table. Orton ended up throwing Tonga back into the ring. Tonga got back to his feet. He ended up running towards Orton. Orton ended up dragging Tonga and placed him onto the second rope, and Orton ended up hitting Tonga with the DDT. Orton ended up going for the RKO, but Solo Sikoa got onto the ring apron. Tonga pushed Orton towards Solo Sikoa. Orton ended up knocking Solo Sikoa down off of the ring apron. Tonga then ended up rolling Orton up, but Orton kicked out. So both Tonga and Orton got to their feet. Orton ended up hitting Tonga with the RKO. Orton ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Randy Orton ended up winning the match. He is now going to the final of the King of the Ring, and he will face Gunther tomorrow at the King and Queen of the Ring. Post-match, Sikoa ended up attacking Orton from behind, and out came Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens ended up coming to the ring. He ended up delivering some right hands to Solo Sikoa. He ended up going for the stunner on Sikoa, but Sikoa ended up pushing Owens away, and Sikoa then left the ring. Orton and Kevin Owens then celebrated in the ring, and that was how SmackDown went off the air. Overall, very good match between Randy Orton and Tama Tonga here. So tomorrow it's going to be Randy Orton versus Gunther in the final of the King of the Ring tournament, and it will be Gunther. My prediction will be Gunther winning the King of the Ring. It'll be King Gunther tomorrow. So that's my prediction. But I want to go over the match card for King and Queen of the Ring here for tomorrow. So just give my predictions. So we got Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill versus Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, which I said earlier we might see next week on SmackDown, but looks like this is going to be the pre-show match. Did not know it was going to be the pre-show. Maybe they announced it after SmackDown and I didn't take a look. So there you go. Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill versus Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Obviously, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill are going to retain. Gunther versus Randy Orton, King of the Ring tournament final. Gunther is going to win it. I don't see Randy Orton win the match. It's going to be all Gunther winning. I think Gunther is going to win the King of the Ring, and he will have a World Championship match, at SummerSlam. So Gunther will be winning. Lyra Valkyria versus Nia Jax. I have to go with Nia Jax, sadly. Can't believe I'm saying that, but I think Nia Jax is going to win the Queen of the Ring tournament, and she will get a Women's World Championship match at SummerSlam. So Nia Jax, I'm going with. Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship. Obviously, Becky Lynch is going to retain. I don't see Liv Morgan, winning the Women's World Championship here. So I'm going with Becky Lynch. Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable versus Bronson Reed. Triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. Sami Zayn will retain. So I see Sami Zayn retain the title. And last but not least, Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul. Undisputed WWE Championship match. Cody Rhodes retaining the title. No way I see Logan Paul carrying both titles. So obviously it's going to be Cody Rhodes winning and retaining the title. So there you go. We got 6 matches on the card. If you don't count the pre-show match, it's just 5 matches. So, but those are my predictions for King and Queen of the Ring for tomorrow. But overall, SmackDown was a decent show tonight. But anyways, that's it for the SmackDown review. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. And until next video, I'll see you all later.